Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. This video is a little bit different because I want to showcase everything I knit in 2025 and then as well give some inspiration or some projects that I find look very beautiful but I have not done yet, but I have plans that I'm gonna do it in the future. So I hope you enjoy the video. So this year I really picked up knitting again. I did when I was a child, but then I stopped doing it for a long while and I only did some crocheting. And yeah, last year I picked it up again. So this was my first big project that I did, the porcelain sweater. And I bought the tutorial, or the written tutorial, which also included some videos. And then I just bought the exact wool as well, because I didn't want to have any risks doing it that way, and I have to say I'm really happy with the outcome. How it looks, how it feels, I have to say it's a tiny bit on the itchy side, but overall I'm still really happy. Of course there are some faults in the knitting work, but overall I think you don't notice it too much. And here you can see another close-up of the sweater. First of all, the pattern that goes along the arms, the front and the back as well. And I have to say the 2x2 ribbing, oof, I tried it a lot of times and still it looks a little bit wonky. And then my next sweater is also a color work sweater, and I chose like a really fun design with a little bit fish. It's a halibut sweater, and it's knitted in the yoke, so a little bit of a different technique. And then because it was just a lot of the cream, I decided to put on or choose the rusty red color again for the bottom and for the cuff of the sleeves. But overall I'm also quite happy. This is very comfortable in comparison. Also the wool was not so expensive, and yeah, I really like it. I wear it a lot. So now I hope you can see the detail of the fish also a little bit better. And I have to say it was quite a game of chicken with the yarn, because I did not know if I had enough yarn of the rust color for the cuffs. Already my last project, which took me the most time, I have to say. In this case it's not a color work sweater, but it's cable knit. So the one where you have basically 3 needles and you change the position of the knits. Yeah, and this, I have to say, I really underestimated how much work this sweater was. And also I had to rebuy wool a bunch of times, because I did the calculations wrong. So overall this is also quite an expensive sweater, and I wear it like this. I don't wear the jacket opened. I just like to wear it like a sweater as well. But I have to say, now that it's finished, I'm very proud of it. Of course there are some mistakes, but still I'm really happy with the outcome. One thing I'm very happy about is the buttons, because these are from my grandma, who was a trained sewist, so I really like when I can use some of her stuff. And as you can see, the cable knit goes all the way around on the arms as well. And you will see, for example, here in the back, I made a mistake, but since it's really hard as well to undo the knits, I choose to leave it that way, and at least it's in the back and I don't see it too much when I'm wearing it. I also did some smaller projects. I only have one with me right now, but I think I did 3 or 4 beanies. Just really fast and easy in comparison, which was also quite nice for a change. And this one I made for my boyfriend. I mean, of course, there's the sweater curse, but I thought the beanie was okay for knitting. And if you don't know the sweater curse, it's basically that if you knit a sweater for your boyfriend, you will then end up in a breakup. So it's kind of a curse when you decide to do that. So from now on, I don't plan on doing any sweaters for him, but other small projects I'm fine with. So yes, this is a beanie, and I also made one for my father, for my mother, and for my grandma. So this beanie is knit in the round with 2x2, so one left, one right, and then in the remaining loops on the top, you just pull through a yarn. Currently do not have a work in progress or a whip for knitting, but I wanted to also share some sweaters, cardigans that I think are really beautiful and I want to do eventually in the future. And I also want to really do some socks this year because I have never knitted some socks and I really want to learn that. For cardigans, for example, I chose another pattern from Cookie the Knitter, which is called the Diane cardigan. I think it just looks very breezy and very delicate, and I really like how it looks. Another classic from Petite Knit is the Olga sweater. I just really like it, how cool and chic and effortless it looks with the straps. I really like that pattern. And then something a little bit different, the Marielle blouse from Maria's Verde. I think just the cutout details, it looks so delicate and very, very beautiful. And I imagine it's quite a lot of fun to do it and to see how it looks. But of course, it's also quite difficult because in the end, all the cutouts should look the same. So this is, I think, a little bit more difficult. And then going on to the clean look, these are 2x2 knits, so one right, one left, I guess at least. It's called the Alva jumper from Liv Bjørholm Lune. And also another one that is quite similar, but just has a pop of color, is the Carlotta sweater from Morocco Knits. And I think the difficulty with these two is just because it's so simple and you don't have a lot of pattern, you don't have a lot of color to distract from any mistakes. I think it is quite obvious if you have variation in the size, and if you do a mistake, it is really, really noticeable because it's such clean sweaters. But if I look at my wardrobe now, I really enjoy wearing those types of sweaters. So I don't know, maybe I have to improve a little bit my knitting and then I can do it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and see you in the next one.